Once upon a time, in a little house with a big, leafy backyard, lived a curious little girl named Lily. Her favorite place in the whole wide world wasn't her room full of toys or the kitchen full of yummy smells. No, her favorite place was a rickety, wonderful treehouse perched high in the branches of an old oak tree. Her grandpa had built it for her, and it was her own special kingdom in the sky. One sunny afternoon, while dusting a bookshelf in the corner of the treehouse, Lily's fingers brushed against a loose floorboard. That's funny," she whispered to the squirrels chattering outside. She wiggled the board, and with a soft creak, it lifted right up. Underneath wasn't just dirt and twigs, but a small hidden compartment. And inside that compartment was a little wooden box. Her heart thumped with excitement. She gently lifted the box out. It wasn't locked. Slowly, she opened the lid. Inside, nestled on a bed of soft red velvet, was a single smooth gray stone. It looked like any other stone you might find by a river, but as Lily picked it up, it felt warm to the touch. The moment her fingers closed around it, a tiny, shimmering light, like a captured firefly, began to glow within the stone. She gasped. As she held the glowing stone, she heard a whisper, not in her ears, but right inside her mind. "Listen," it seemed to say. Lily looked around, but she was all alone. She held the stone tighter and closed her eyes. Suddenly, she could hear something new. It was the oak tree. She could hear the slow, deep sigh of its branches as they swayed in the breeze, the quiet gurgle of water being drawn up through its roots, and a happy hum as its leaves soaked up the sunshine. She was listening to the secret language of the tree. The treehouse wasn't just in the tree. It was a place to hear its secrets. Every day after that, Lily would climb up to her treehouse, take out the listening stone, and discover a new secret. One day, she heard the secret conversations of the ants marching up the trunk, planning their next big picnic adventure. Another day, she listened to a family of bluebirds whispering about which cloud looked the fluffiest. The stone didn't just let her hear the tree. It let her hear all the tiny, hidden worlds within her own backyard. One evening, as the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Lily noticed another secret. On the wall of the treehouse, where the last rays of sunlight hit, a faint drawing appeared. It wasn't there in the bright light of day, only in the gentle glow of sunset. It was a map of her very own backyard. But there were markings on it she had never seen before. A little star was drawn right where the old rose bush grew. The next morning, with the map tucked in her pocket, Lily hurried to the rose bush. She carefully looked around the base, pushing aside the leaves. And there it was, a small, flat rock with a swirl carved into it, just like on the map. She lifted the rock, and underneath, she found another tiny box. This one was made of metal. Inside this box was a single shiny brass key. It was old and ornate, with a heart shape at the top. What could this key possibly open? There were no locks in the treehouse, none that she knew of anyway. She ran back up the ladder, her mind buzzing with questions. She looked everywhere. She checked the door, the window shutters, even the little toy chest. No lock. Feeling a little disappointed, she sat down on the floor, the key still in her hand. As she leaned back against the wall, her hand brushed against a small carved flower in the wood. She had always thought it was just a decoration. But as her fingers traced its petals, she felt a tiny, almost invisible hole right in the center. Her eyes widened. It was a keyhole. With a trembling hand, she inserted the brass key. It was a perfect fit. She turned it, and with a soft click, a section of the wall swung open like a secret door. Lily peeked inside. It was a tiny, hidden cupboard. And on its single shelf sat a beautiful, leather-bound book with the word Dreams embossed on the cover in golden letters. She carefully took the book and sat down. When she opened it, she found that the pages were completely blank. An empty book? She wondered aloud. But as she held it, feeling the soft leather, a new kind of magic happened. As she thought about her day, about finding the listening stone and the sunset map, faint shimmering pictures began to appear on the pages, drawing themselves. The book wasn't for writing. It was for remembering. It was a dream journal that captured her happiest memories and turned them into beautiful, glowing illustrations. From that day on, Lily's treehouse became even more magical. It was a house of secrets, but not spooky secrets. They were happy, wonderful secrets. It held the secret of listening, the secret of seeing things in a new light, and the secret of holding on to precious memories. Every evening, before bed, Lily would climb into her treehouse. She would use the stone to listen to the lullaby of the crickets and the sleepy whispers of the leaves. She would watch the sunset to see if any new maps appeared on the wall. And before she climbed down, she would open her dream journal and watch as her day's adventures filled the pages with light and color. The treehouse had taught her that the world is full of magic. You just have to know how and where to look. Sometimes, secrets aren't meant to be kept forever. Sometimes, they are just waiting for the right person to come along and discover them, turning an ordinary day into an extraordinary adventure. And as Lily drifted off to sleep each night, she dreamt of all the new secrets her magical treehouse might share with her tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories. Sleep well.